We crack open the cold one with the crew. Raw J bringing brews, AT got the screw. Midwest vibes, pouring pints, yeah we grinding. Sales of Fox and Morse, keep your minds rewinding. Across the state, spread the word, that's how we do. From the craft to the cans, always something new. Raise your glasses, cheers to the cherry sauce. And every sip, till the stories evolve.
Hear news blowing up, hear the chatter.
Midwest Beer Show, raising the crowd. Borgia on the mic with the passion and blast. Dave C's got the knowledge for an history fast.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Saturday night and another Midwest Beer Show. This is the new night to catch us doing this, and time is still 8:00, so we made the switch here to the Saturday night. So hopefully you guys will keep coming in. I know last Saturday time when I did it, we had a good amount of people that showed up, and great to have Dave back as well, who's going through a few things there. But good to see you back, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for holding down the fort. A couple weeks ago, without me, I had an eye injury, so bright lights were not good for me. So things are much better now. But yeah, thanks for holding down the fort. Oh,
yeah, definitely. It's always interesting when you're doing a show talking with yourself. But I've done it so much over the years, I'm kind of used to it now. Just when I start to answer myself, that's when it gets a little crazy. Speaking of that, you see some of these people now, they're getting caught up talking to AI. And then AI is telling them stuff, and they're doing why are you following the computer? It's just people are losing their sense of being, I think, at some point. But
well, it was weird. I had to do some training at work this week, so I'm doing it's just video lessons, and now they're all AI. So now they have AI people just standing there reading to you about safety. I'm like, get out of here.
That's as bad as the old work videos back in the day when you got a little high school job at Burger King or McDonald's or something like that, everything. Before you can start, you have to watch this training video. And it was just this old stays bad, not even a B movie, a C movie type thing. It was even a B, it threw some porn in there or something. It was boring as hell watching those old ones back in the day. But it's great to be back. Great to kick it with some more beers. Those of you that have been following me today, I've already had something this morning. So we'll talk about the experience I had down there at Sam Adams in the tap room upcoming as well, and some of the good things there. And then Dave's with the Fobab since the time he's been out. So we're going to kick off talking to that as well. So hang with us, and we'll have some fun tonight going over that and some of the other beer news. Big shocking breaking news that took place yesterday. If you're not aware, we'll get into that as well from out of Oregon that caught just about everybody off guard on what happened there. So yeah, we're going to crack some beers open. So speaking of which, do you have your beer open already, my friend?
I do. I cracked open, starting out light tonight. So I'm starting out with an NA from Go Brewing, and it's a collaboration with Hop Butcher. This is called Baller Melon. It's a melon style NA beer, really, really good. I mean, we both of us have talked about Go before. Hop Butcher is a great one. So nice collaboration with them. So starting out light, but I'm going to close out with something barrel aged, so I figure I'm going to ease my way into it.
Nice crosstown collaboration between those two, being in Chicago as well. Shout out to Ryan in the house from Cincy Brewdaz. Happy Saturday night, my friend. Great to see you. And hopefully you made it over to Sam Adams. I know if you were going over there today or yesterday or tomorrow, but I know they kicked one of the Utopias today. I think it was the 2005 version. It still had a little bit more, but I got a chance to have the 2025, which I'll talk about that here in a bit too. But today, as Ice Cube would say, it was a good day. What are we drinking? Well, yeah, see, you're right on time for that. So Dave just said what he's drinking from Go. And what was the name of that one? Did you say, Dave, as well?
Baller Melon.
Baller Melon, okay. And then I am actually going to start off with one, and I had this the other night with the lager guys when I had them on, but it's going to be the Knowledge from Rheingeist. It's their Imperial India Pale Ale. Comes in at 8.5% ABV. It is one of my favorite ones from Rheingeist as far as the IPA line goes. Probably top 5 for me from their IPAs, I think more so. It's a seasonal, not always out. So when I had to come back and I actually saw that, I had to grab it. I had to grab a 6-pack, or as Dave said, I had to put it in the cart. So
Absolutely, yeah.
And I got this at my local BP. I love my freaking gas stations being back in Ohio. I'm finding this. I'm finding Boulevard mixed variety packs from barrel aged stuff. I'm finding all kinds of things. Like, don't underestimate the power of the gas stations in Ohio. That's all I'm going to say.
So just sometimes you got to check the dates in there. You got to make sure those are still good.
Yeah, that's the thing. Our guy gets like all fresh and stuff thus far. So this one was just canned when it came out like about a month ago, and then the Boulevard ones was just the new ones off the rack, basically over the last month. In fact, I got the last 6-pack they actually had of it. So it's got a Neapolitan mix pack. You get 2 vanilla, 2 strawberry, and 2 chocolate barrel aged beers. And I was hoping they were going to be like Saginaw, where they do like all 3 flavors in one beer, but that's okay. I can do 6 just as easy. But Saginaw's Neapolitan is the bomb if you ever get a chance to try that one. But yeah, and Ryan said he'll actually be down at Sam Adams tomorrow. So yeah, a lot of good stuff there. Got some more video stuff to share, and what I also brought back because it was hard to come back empty-handed as well. But that being said, let's talk some FOBAB. There were a lot of FOBAB news. There were a lot of breweries here in Ohio that got some awards out of FOBAB.
Yes, they did.
And so what was the experience like? What did you pick up from it? What did you get to enjoy? Because you were right there on the premises.
I mean, it's such a great festival. And if you like barrel-aged beers, this is definitely worth your time. Tickets are a little steep for a festival with all your service fees. It comes out to about $100, but for the amount of quality barrel-aged beers, some things are just FOBAB exclusive, so you'll never get it anywhere. Ooh. It's definitely worth it. Upstairs, they have what's called the Lager Lounge, where they got about 15, 20 different breweries just cranking out some killer lagers. So if you got to cleanse your palate a little bit, you could go up there and just have a nice lager. But man, the barrel-aged stuff was so good. Everything that I had, I enjoyed. A lot of good winners. Like this one brewery called Verboten. They're in Fort Collins, Colorado, I believe. They took home a lot of hardware. I didn't get a chance to have any of their stuff because they do the awards right in the middle. And once they announce the awards, boom, everybody flocks to that line. And like, there's 300 beers being poured here. I'm not waiting in line. I could find something else that's really good. But yeah, you mentioned there was an Ohio beer. I got my scroll going up here. The best of show was the Lost Abbey in California. They took home one for Duck Duck Goes. Resident Culture Brewing in Charlotte took some hardware. I've talked about Old Irving before. Theirs was spectacular. A San Diego brewery won like a gold medal. Third Eye Brewing in Cincinnati, they took a medal. That was the one I was thinking of. But some of my favorites, there was one we both had talked about, Firestone Walker before, and I saw they had a couple different. They had an anniversary that was spectacular, and I think both of us are getting that soon, but they had one. I got to look on my phone. It's called Uber Omni Gruber. It's a specialty strong porter and stout. That was phenomenal. That's one I had to go back a couple of times and get. Outside, like they have it's like a CTA car, an L car. It's all Goose Island, and they were pouring different variants through. Like every hour, they would switch up, and they would have some, 6-year-old, 7-year-old stuff. So I had a couple of their props from years past. On the show, I've talked about for 5 years now, one of my favorite beers of all time, brewery called Pipeworks here in Chicago. It's called Imperial End of Days. I had it once at this beer festival, probably like 9 years. I had it once like a year later at the Bad Apple. I've never seen it. As my buddy and I are leaving, he grabbed me. He's like, dude, look. I'm like, holy shit, it's there. So we had to get a couple pours of that. Absolutely phenomenal. A place in Peru that was there that was funny. My wife brought me back some beer from them when she went to Peru called Seven Vidas. They had a barrel age that was phenomenal. So it was nice to see some international breweries, represent there. But yeah, if you like barrel aged beers, you got to go to Fobab. It's well worth it.
Yeah, I mean, the stature of that now is just internationally known. So yeah, I can see where Peru would come in and some overseas type. I mean, it's just known to be the best barrel aged. I don't want to say barrel aged event. I'll say that's out there. So Chicago is such a great city to have it in as well. So it makes sense to have something like that going on. And I was thinking, was it cold up there at the time, or was it a little warm? Because usually if you have it cold, barrel age can hit a little bit more for you.
It wasn't bad. It was about 50. But, I mean, here, I'm sure, you're not that far. I mean, it was like 50 on Saturday. Monday, we had about 6 inches of snow. And today it's 60 degrees. So who knows what's going on with the weather.
Yeah, we hit 72, 73 today. So after coming back from Sam Adams, I was like, you know what? I can actually sit out on the patio, get the tablet, watch the football game, smoke a cigar, and just relax. And that's what I did in between. So, yeah, it was nice to get that because last week you were not doing that. Last weekend we had snow on the ground and it was like 30 degrees. So the weather patterns, you can't figure shit out around here.
I thought you'd be taking a nap after the Sam Adams.
No, I got to be like a shark. I got to keep it moving. If I slow down, then I'm done. So I got to keep finding stuff to do to keep it going through. And luckily, there were some great football games on today, so that kept me involved on that. Had a little dinner. They got that second wind. You know how it is, and just fuel it up for the night. So we're ready to rock and roll. Shout out to Bart in the house. Great to see you as well, my friend.
Hey, Bart.
Hopefully things are going well for you up in the Jersey side. I actually had the Locker Room guys. I don't know if you saw that, Bart, from Thursday. I had them on to talk about their podcast and their Jersey guys too. So we had some pretty good stuff in there. We actually had a pork roll and scrapple chat also. So for those that don't know pork roll and scrapple, if you're in the Cincinnati area, get a scrapple similar to that. But pork roll is like basically almost like a rolled sausage ham of other pork parts that don't go anywhere else, I guess you could say. And when you buy it, it's just like in a cellophane type package. You can slice it up and serve it as a breakfast food. If you're in South Jersey, and if you're in North Jersey, it's Taylor ham. If you're South Jersey, it's pork roll. And if you're pretty much southeastern PA, you probably know this pork roll as well. But what's actually in it, who really knows? But it's good when you fry it up. So I can do that before I can do Spam. I can't do Spam with the jelly out of the can. I just seeing that jelly turns me off on it. So yeah. I would not do Spam. So yeah. I haven't done the Boulevard as of yet, but the Boulevard always pretty much delivers. So it does look delicious for sure. And Dave, you get any from local? Yeah, well, you did. You said you didn't get the third eye, right?
No, I didn't get the third eye because once they announced the winners, because we were up towards like the front of the stage when they were rattling them off, and then you see the lines. I'm like, all right, no, that's all right.
Yeah. Third Eye is making one heck of a reputation for themselves here. So everywhere they're going to these different events, they won out at Great American Beer Fest and these other ones that are taking place, and people are knowing about them. So I got to get my hand on some of the Third Eye. When I have Third Eye here around me and like all the store stuff, I just haven't picked up any. So I need to get some of those. But with so much beer I already have here, that's the problem I run into. So it's a good problem to have, I guess. That's what people say. Bart had pork roll this morning. So Bart, the whole pork. We'd explained the pork roll and scrapple before we had the chat on it, but it's interesting. Blue Moon Extra Belgian White, 8% ABV, 19.2 can. Either of you ever have it? Tastes like a grown-up version of Blue Moon. I've not even seen that, I don't believe.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
Yeah, although I don't usually look for Blue Moon as much. Now, when I go to Kroger and they have the stovepipe can section, I don't even think I saw Blue Moon in it, but you'll have like the Voodoo Ranger, you'll have some of the Rhine Guy stuff, you'll have Sierra Nevada. But yeah, I'll have to see what that might be like. A grown up, so no orange needed then, right? That's a grown up version. Like, as Dave's in Chicago, no ketchup on a hot dog, no orange on the Blue Moon.
But now, did you see like Blue Moon? They are not calling it oranges anymore. I think they're calling it Blue Moon Garnish. But like my Jewel, they sell the Blue Moon in the stovepipe, but I haven't seen the extra Imperial Blue Moon, so I will have to keep an eye out for that one.
And Ryan told me they do have it at some Kroger. I mean, we may have it at mine. I just haven't really noticed it. I usually am looking more to the craft side and a lot of that stuff, but I don't know if they have it over a little bit more. But I got a pretty good Kroger where you can like make your own 6-pack and stuff too. And the fact, one of the beers I have later was one of the ones I picked up, and it's like, oh, I can just make it here and get me a few, don't have to buy a whole 6-pack. So
yeah.
It's nice when some stores have that. Some of the other Kroger's not as good at doing that. So fortunate when it does actually happen. But FOBAB was something that took place there. I myself, as I've mentioned here a couple times, had a chance to get on down to Sam Adams, like Price is Right. Come on down to Sam Adams Tap Room here in Cincinnati. And let me just tell you, it was a great experience. It always is when I go there. Great people, great beer that they're just putting in the tap house that you're not getting anywhere else. It's just like, man, if everybody else knew you guys were making this out here, you could probably sell volumes of some of this stuff. But had a chance to get down there, had Utopia for the first time. So first time actually having that. Got like I think it was like a 1.5 ounce pour they actually did. A shout out to Palm Communications that invited me to come down for that event to get that tasting and stuff in. And it was as good as marketed and talked about and labeled. It was a smooth experience. Definitely get hit with the booziness of it. You definitely get a little bit of the alcohol heat, but the smoothness of it and the taste that you pick up, the warmth, it's an enlightening experience to actually enjoy it. But also when I joke around, like, do we even consider this beer anymore? Obviously, it's still made like beer, so we consider it beer. But at 30%, you're drinking it like a nice whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not unless you're Todd, unless you're my buddy Todd, who likes to chug through Utopia in one night. Most people, you take a little bit here, a little bit there. You just enjoy it. Great fire pit beer. So if people get Utopias this time of year, if you got a fire pit, you'll love having that and sitting around and really enjoying it. And first time ever, 30% ABV. So that was actually a nice one to kick back and enjoy. And then I also had they have a barrel-aged cream. I want to say barrel-aged cream Utopia, which is actually aged in Utopia barrels.
Oh, wow.
So, so that's something they have on tap. And also they bottled, which I'll share that here in a second, because I did, like I said, pick up something when I ended up leaving down there. So end up having that, which was also phenomenal for a great, just smooth beer to sit back and enjoy. They also had 2005, I think, 2009. I want to say maybe like 2015 or something, because you could do like a flight of pours as well, like a full flight they set up. They kicked the one tonight from 2005, I know, but they have the other ones down there. But you can get those, but you had to get those in a flight if you did those. But then they also had some other things on tap that were done in Utopia bottles. But great job down there. The place started filling up a little bit. I went down at about 11:30, 12, get down there and come back, watch the games and stuff. And it started filling up pretty quickly. There were people that drove in from different states. Someone had drove down. I was talking to a couple of the people there, the managers and employees. And I think someone that drove in from New York with him and his son, because they come down there and experience. This was their 7th year of doing it here in Cincinnati. Okay. So for them, it's like a tradition to come down. There were other people that were coming from all over the country. They were just like, they knew this was the spot to be if you wanted to kind of do it. And it became like a destination type thing. And that's what you got to have nowadays for breweries. When you talk about how do you get people in your breweries, you got to make it feel like an experience. And everybody was there having enjoyment. Some people did bring their kids. Kids were well behaved. We talk about the kids in the breweries. The kids were, but I'm like, I don't know if you want your kids here that long, because if you have 30% drinks flying around, something's going to happen probably. Yeah. Yeah. But great experience. Ended up picking up this, which I was going to do an unboxing, but I was like, oh, we'll be here tonight, right? So this was a 3-bottle set you could actually get, and this has the Imperial Cream Stout. That's what it was that I had, Imperial Cream Stout Topia. Then they also had the coffee bean with Topias. I had a little taste of that when I was there, and the cinnamon roll breakfast box, which is one I did the shorts on last week when I was there, 2 weeks ago when I was down there, and that is already phenomenal. So all three, like a nice set. The two bigger bottles for the Utopia beers, and the other one, I think it's like a 16.9 for the middle. It was a good deal. So I had to pick it up and bring them home, and I'll share those individually on some of the videos. But it's amazing to see, again, some of the stuff they were doing down there, because we talked before at times about some of these legacy breweries that get looked over. Because everybody's like, we talk about like Third Eye, or we talk about Rheingeist, or we talk about Pipeworks, and we talk about, and it's like, don't forget those ones that have been doing it for a while, because if you go there, you're going to probably find some good stuff happening, right?
Yeah.
So that's to the point of why it was great to actually get down there and check out what they had. But great experience. You can see some, I don't know if I put it up on, well, I did put it on the community page on the channel if you want to see some of the shots I took when I was down there. I did a little video there on TikTok and Instagram as well. But yeah, it was a great day. As I said earlier, Ice Cube would be like, today was a good day, and the day is still rolling, so I'm happy. And we got Chuck in the house. Cheers. Sipping on the Sam Adams Winter Ale right now. Yeah, and that was actually one that was popular because that's on tap at the Cincy Brew House. So a lot of people were drinking that. There's a little question around it, because I was talking to one of the managers, and it's this whole thing. Well, we haven't done this beer for like 30 years. Like, wait a second. Like, I've had winter beers from Sam Adams before, so it's kind of like the winter ale that they have right now. It's like a tweak maybe of the recipe. So it's like they haven't really created a new winter ale for that period of time. They've had winter beers, but they haven't created a new one. So this is the first time creating this one, and it was pretty popular. A lot of people were drinking it, and a lot of people were liking it. So I'll have to pick that one up too.
Do they have their cranberry lambic? Because that was big. I don't even know if they still make that, but that was pretty popular back in the day. But they would bring it out around this time of year.
Did not see the cranberry lambic being down there as for what they had offered. Nothing on tap, at least. I didn't see anything like canned in the cooler or anything along those lines. Okay. So that's not one they had this time. But they had actually in the cooler, they had the just the haze. So I know they do some stuff with that. So talking about the NA type things. And yeah, it was some just great beers they actually had on tap. They actually, if you're on Untapped and you pull up Sam Adams in Cincinnati, you can also see their tap list. So they do put stuff out there as well, and pretty much on point for everything they actually have at that time. 6-pack of the Sam Adams Winter Ale, but I haven't had it yet. Pitfalls would be the kind, right? It's tough to get into. Like, I got these beers. I can't tell you when I have the video up to actually drink them, because I have so many other beers and stuff. And with this type of beer, I can hold on to it for a while, right? So it's not got to be pushed to the front. Like some of the IPAs and some of the other beers that I'm actually doing. I did a couple reviews last night for a couple of the Great Lakes beers, because I'm getting to the Vivacious line. I don't know if you've seen that where you're at, Dave. They have the Vivacious beers now. And so I did like the regular Vivacious and the Juicy. So those reviews will be coming out shortly as well. And they also have a Blood Orange that I'll be sharing at a point too. So y'all stay tuned for those. I think we lost Dave there for a second. Old Fezziwig might be land. Maybe that is. I mean, they did have the Old Fezziwig there. And I actually do have a can of that for review upcoming as well. So I'm not sure if that was a replacement for that or something different, but they did have the Old Fezziwig. And I know that's a really popular fan favorite too. Yeah.
I haven't had the Great Lakes Christmas yet. Sorry, I had a technical issue here. I needed to pick that up. But a friend of mine was weird, because by me, it's about $14 to $15 a 6-pack. And a friend of mine was asking, he was having a holiday gathering. He's like, what kind of beer should I get? I said, well, if you go to Costco, that Costco one, they put out their lager, which is a Hellas style lager with the shoots. Great price. It's like $13 a 12-pack. He's like, I heard you talk about it on your show before, the Great Lakes Christmas. He's like, they had it at my Costco for $36 a case. I'm like, damn, that's a good price. $9 a 6-pack. That's a really good price.
Yeah. Did he end up scooping up the case? Or?
He said he was going to go get a case of the Christmas and then grab like a case of that one, their regular, like that Kirkland lager. Because I said, no matter what kind of beer even if they don't like craft beer. It's a Helles. It's not offensive. Everybody likes a Helles.
Yeah,
Craft beer people will like it because it's a GABF gold medal winner.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then Dave's in the house. Cheers, Dave.
Yeah.
Great to see you, my friend, as well.
All right. Cheers.
But speaking of Costco, which is actually a good segue here for some of the news items we were going to actually cover, because out there right now, which is kind of interesting. So if you do have Costco's in your area and they do actually sell beer, people are finding that Utopia is actually starting to show up in some of the Costco's. So if you are looking to see if you go score Utopia anywhere, which has always been a hard time for some folks, I don't know if they got a new agreement or a new deal or what has taken place, but that is showing up. And it's funny here, they also make mention of that lager you were talking about too as well, Dave, being at Costco. But Utopias, they're like showing up in some of them. This one mentioned it being out of Washington for basically $220, which is actually less than some people are paying at other spots in some stores, so lower than the markup. But you expect to save money at Costco. That's why you're got the Costco membership, right? So, but I would definitely check some of your local Costco's if you're looking for Utopia and you know they sell alcohol, because you might be able to get a nice, pleasant surprise. And it does look pretty glorious there, that bottle they have there too. So I didn't get a Utopia's glass. I should have got a Utopia's glass because I like the look of those as well.
Well, you figure that's $2.20. You get the hot dog for $1.25. I mean, it all balances out. You're good.
Yeah, you try to still average it out and stuff. Yeah. Now, just a reminder, unfortunately, if you happen to live in the states of Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Idaho, Missouri, Mississippi, Montana, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Oregon, South Carolina, Utah, Vermont, or West Virginia, you would not find it there because the ABV is too high, they say. Yeah. So can't help you in those states, but maybe you know friends in other states that can get it to you. Well, it's been known to happen.
My Costco here, they had, I think it was a barrel aged that they did with the shoots as well. They sold it, I think it was in the Bomber. And a friend of mine went to another Costco in the area. Mine doesn't carry it. So he was like, it was only like $7 or $8. So I'm like, I'm going to have to go to another Costco to try to pick this one up. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you have to search more than one to be able to find it for sure. So definitely got to do that. And then let's see here. Just tried the barrel aged Christmas ale from Great Lakes. Doesn't taste much like Christmas, but it is delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the barrel aged Christmas ale from Great Lakes and stuff. In fact, I have one that I'm going to do a cellar review off of that I had gotten last year to share this year after a year and kind of what it actually still tastes like and everything, which I know it's still going to be delicious and stuff like that. But sometimes it's just fun to keep beers back and just see what it feels like after a point. I had one last Christmas that I kept, and it was one of the Belgian ones, and it was still so smooth. I forgot which one it is now, but it was, the big 25.4 ounce bottle or whatever, and from overseas, and it was just so good. It's like, have that on Christmas Day. It's like another present. Another present. And who doesn't want presents, right?
No, absolutely.
Might be tough this year with some of the economic stuff happening, but if you can get it. And then we also had the news that I know you have found this one out there with the new Glarus and their update taking place as they're doing a $50 million, $55 million expansion. Yeah. So
I mean, it looks phenomenal. I mean, I was at not the original. I was up there, maybe it was 15 years ago. And even then, that was one of the most impressive beer tours that I've been on. So I can't wait to, check this out. I mean, we've talked about it before. All they do is sell in Wisconsin. $55 million. That's a lot of spotted cow people are drinking up there. But, God bless them. I mean, they make some great stuff. I'm a big fan of their Moon Man and some of their fruit beers, like their Wisconsin Red's, one of my favorites. They do a strawberry rhubarb that's just killer. So this will be cool when it opens up in a couple of years.
Yeah, definitely. Well, hopefully it won't take as long. I didn't see what the time span was, but I just saw one here where he said, 2026. So, okay. So
Yeah.
they're going to be closing around Christmas until the new ones are open. Everything's complete next year. So,
Yeah.
and then open it early. Oh, open it early summer 2027. So you're right. Yeah, it is pretty much 2 years out there. 665,000 square foot expansion with 4-story building for brewing, distilling, and hospitality, including grass roof and geothermal heating and cooling systems. All right. Just looking here. Maybe with the new money, they can say, hey, maybe we can start distributing outside of Wisconsin. We got to pay for this expansion somehow, or send it outside the state so more people can send money your way.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they opened up in 1993. So I feel like they were like one of the older ones in that. I don't know why, like the 80s or something.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, they were here up until like 2003. And then they just pulled back and said, no, that's it. We're staying in Wisconsin only. So I'm like, all right, hey, God bless you.
Yeah.
Whatever works. I mean, you're the number 12 craft brewery in the country. So, we can't argue. Those Wisconsinites love to drink. Yeah.
If you look at the stats on Wisconsin drinkers of beer, that's one state that can definitely handle things themselves for sure. They drink a lot of beer in Wisconsin. I guess maybe it's the winter months because you really can't do anything when it's like 20, 30 below and the car won't start. You're just stuck at home and just drink some beer. That would be too cold of a state for me to be in for sure.
No, it's nice. It's not bad.
And then we also just had recently, Warped Wing had actually released their Esther's Little Secret, which is their caramel pecan, depending on where you're coming from, Doppelbock in the standard version 6-pack for $11.99, and then they got a whiskey barrel aged version for $12.99 in a 12.7 ounce bottle. So you can get one 12.7, or you can get the 6-pack, or you can get both. You don't have to choose either. It could be both there. I know Ryan had actually picked up the ones in the can, so I don't know if you tried them yet, Ryan, or not, but I think you did say you did try one of them. So I got a feel that's a pretty solid beer itself too. But the caramel and the pecan and the Doppelbock, it's like, sign me up. Yeah. And I didn't realize it, but we actually have one of the Warped Wing because they're based out of Dayton, Ohio, but we have a location right here in Mason, which is like 20 minutes from me. So I was talking to them about them being there, did not realize it. So put a pop over there at some point to check out what they had to offer. Well, they do some pretty good stuff. Ryan says, my wife is in Wisconsin right now, so some New Glarus beers are in my immediate future. There you go. That's a good wife right there.
Yeah. Tell her, Ryan, to bring you back some Moon Man. Moon Man is phenomenal.
She'll say, what do you want from up here? You'd be like, everything. Yeah. Whatever you can fit in the car.
Yeah. Head over to Mars Cheese Castle, get some cheddar brats and some New Glarus. You're doing good right there.
And then the other thing with Warped Wing, they just launched their first NA beer. So they're getting into the NA beer. Their Zero Altitude IPA was just released recently. So again, if you're looking for an NA beer to try, you might see the Warped Wing out there. For those of you here in Ohio, I'm sure we'll see it popping up in our shelves, especially at least in the southern parts to the central parts of the state. But it's something I think a lot of breweries have to consider if they would be a part of, because you got to follow the dollars, and dollars are coming in off the NA market right now. So if you can get one out there, it could benefit you for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talked about it before, and especially, like how everything is so local, maybe somebody doesn't want your athletics or, things of that nature. If a good local craft brewery's putting something out, you might get people to, try it then.
Yeah, definitely. So, keep an eye out for that kind of stuff happening. And then here locally in Cincinnati, well, it's for Ohio, but Cincinnati is where it's actually going to be held. We have to launch, first time ever, we're going to have the Ohio Beer Awards taking place. And the location of where they'll do the presentations and the judging will actually be at Mad Tree here in Cincinnati. So basically 10 minutes from where I'm at here. The breweries are being encouraged right now to get in the beers they want to get representative. So right now, the buzz through Ohio, people are talking about this and getting into the competition here. And it'll be nice to see Ohio, how some of the breweries rank, because we do have a lot of good beers from top to bottom through the state. You think about, we talk about Great Lakes. We talk about down here with Mantry, Rhine Guys. You got stuff like Jackie O's. You got Fatheads. You got a lot of really good beer makers throughout. So it'll be interesting to see how it all happens and takes place. And they'll do the judging in January when it takes place. And if you're a fan of beer, you don't have to be a brewery to go. You can be a fan of beer. They do have tickets where you can actually go and see everything being done and maybe partake. And they are looking for volunteers. So if you want to be a volunteer, you can actually go to the website and check that out as well. Give you a good chance to meet some of the breweries and the brewers and get a chance to probably taste some pretty good beers as well. But looking forward to seeing how that actually plays out along those lines. So stay tuned for that. I'm sure we'll be talking some more of that stuff over the next couple of months as we head up to that to take place. So
they need to make you the master of ceremonies. You need to be out there announcing the winners.
I would. It'd be nice. I think they already got an MC for that, though. Yeah. I know, but who knows? Maybe I can get in there as a beer judge or something. That would be fun too. So I'm going to try to do something with it, I'm sure. So stay tuned for that.
I just cracked open the Czech Dark Lager from Brews. They were kind enough to send me some of their stuff from Colorado out in Denver. This one's really good. I mean, low alcohol. What is it? Probably about 5%. It doesn't say here, but delicious. 4.8%. Really nice chocolate malts there, smooth, easy drinking. The dark lager is fantastic.
Yeah. I like a good dark lager. And then Ryan said, I've had Moon Man and Spotted Cow. So I asked for the Pilsner, Hefeweizen, and Brown Ale.
Can't go wrong.
We were talking the other night when I had the lager room, and Ryan was in the chat as well. Brown Ale, just saying, a good style around Thanksgiving to pair up with the turkey.
Yeah.
We said Saison, we talked Belgians, but Brown Ale was there in the conversation as well.
Good God, and you remember 30 years ago when all craft breweries were starting out, everybody had a brown ale. And then, then the hops took over and that all went by the wayside.
Yeah, and it was actually in America, it was the brown ale was kicked off by Newcastle. Yeah. Newcastle is the one that actually came over to England, and people got onto it and it started going from there and everything. It's funny now, though, when you consider what Newcastle tastes like versus where we're at now. Obviously, we put the American twist and stuff on it, but, you have to tip your hat to Newcastle for introducing that to a lot of the American breweries.
Yeah.
And Dave, I have not had Spotted Cow as well. I've had other stuff from them. When I went to the CBC conference last year, we actually had some New Glarus stuff, but not Spotted Cow. I can't remember which one I had. I had to look at Untapped to figure it out. But
it's overrated. They have other stuff that's good. I mean, it's their flagship, but maybe it's because it's hyped up so much when you drink it, like this is it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing. In the past we've talked about, can a beer, be too hyped up that when you actually get it, you're like, it's all right. Because that nostalgia had been built up on it, and then it's like when you get it, it's kind of like, and I always do like highlight. Everybody talked about that from Cigar City, and it was kind of like when I finally had it, it was like, it's good, but it's not like it's knocking down a door anywhere. I mean, but back when it was only like 1 of 10 out there, it stood out a lot more. Yeah. So, But shout out to Tim in the house. Cheers, Tim. Great to see you, my friend. I thought y'all were going to get the upset with South Carolina today, Tim. I thought y'all were going to pull it out and knock Texas A&M off the pedestal. You were right there. Tim down to South Carolina. I know he's watching the Gamecocks game, and almost had that upset take place. Although Alabama losing, that's going to set some shockwaves through. Dave loves Cigar City, loves his Cigar City. Yeah, well, you're down there in Florida, too. And I don't knock Cigar City. I like the Maduro and some of the other stuff they got. It's just, they were when you put it so high on a pedestal and stuff. It's like sometimes you're worried you're going to be when you finally have it. Does it really hold up to the hype? Now when I had Trillium, that held up to the hype. When I first said, that one, definitely was there. So you do have some that do it, but some is kind of like it's still good, but it's not what you thought it was going to be. Yeah. And then some of the other news that just broke recently here too, and although it's just outside of, or as you say on Major League, just a bit outside from Bob Uecker. From down in Kentucky, down in Louisville, we had the announcement with Against the Grain, where they're going to be actually not renewing their lease at the Louisville Public House, which is at Slugger Field in downtown Louisville. They'll still have their Portland area production, which is an area down in Louisville, but you're not going to be able to go there really to have beers anymore. So it's kind of sad because people love Against the Grain, Bo and Luke, some of their other beers they've come out with that people have got to know that name over the 14 years they were doing stuff. They didn't want to renew lease. Things were changing, so they had to pull up stakes. So it'll be a loss because in Cincinnati, we get them feeding up into where we're at. So hopefully we'll still get some of the production stuff being done, but it's just to physically be able to go there, we won't be able to do. Like the one I sent to you from Taps. Like you can't go to Taps anymore. They're still producing it, but good beers. You gotta go. If you want to support someone, you want them to make it, you gotta go. Just gotta go. Spotted Cow is unique and as a farmhouse ale, which isn't a style you see much elsewhere. I mean, farmhouse ale basically is Saison, so we do have some Saison makers. I don't think a lot of breweries take it on because it is a unique taste, and I think for a lot of breweries, why you don't see them making them as much is because they can't risk going to make a bunch in a keg that's not going to be supported by the fan base, right? So that's why you have more people leaning in IPAs. There's enough IPA stuff that stats will show people will drink the IPA if you make it, right? But if farmhouse, it's like brown ales. You don't see a lot of breweries making the brown ales because that support base isn't there as much. Which is why I love when some of the breweries do small batches and experiment with stuff. Yeah, definitely unique taste when you're talking about the Saison and the farmhouse style. But if you're a fan of Against the Grain and you wanted to go down there, they won't be closing the location, I believe, until like December 13th or so, or that week. So you can still go down there now, but they're not going to be renewing it. And, we'll see what happens from that on going forward. But they made some good beers. So definitely be missed along those lines. Let's see here. So one of the things, we actually talked about this a little bit before we actually started tonight. So get into some of the stuff here with the hemp things taking place, which is just interesting. Because since the time we were looking at it before, we had that little change about the 1 year being pushed out onto basically get your shit together for these makers of stuff, right? There's going to be, and that's going to probably change over the year in some type of way, probably just because nothing ever stays the same as it starts out most of the time. Though things nowadays don't ever seem to really always go the right way. So we don't have to see. But the thing that was interesting that I found about it was the Beer Institute, who basically teamed up with the spirit and the winemakers and getting involved in kind of calling for this type of regulation to take place, which I think everybody wants to have regulation and you're getting a safe product out there. So I can understand that aspect of it, but it's almost like there's a concern for some of the breweries that might not be in that game where they're going to lose market share because they're all about the dollars. They're not making money off of it, so they don't want anybody else to make money than they might be getting. And it's funny because in my mind, I think back to New Jersey and with breweries there, what they have their fight against being able to serve food at breweries or being able to do certain things because of the hospitality lobby they have in New Jersey, right? And so here's beer actually teaming up with somebody else against another industry as well. And it's kind of like, I don't know how I feel kind of about beer jumping in on board with the other ones and kind of just like jumping on and basically attacking this new industry that has so much promise behind it and so much opportunity. I don't know what your thoughts are on how it plays out for you, but it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel just like it's a piling on that doesn't need to be a piling on type thing.
Yeah. I mean, plus, don't get me started, Mitch McConnell taking like 700 grand from the liquor industry, and now he's against hemp. So don't get me started with that, Mitch. But I mean, we've got a year. I think cooler heads are going to prevail. The companies that are doing it the right way, I mean, I know I've been to like hemp beverage like symposiums, and that's all legit. Like the testing that they do and everything, it's just meticulous. And I don't think that's the problem. I think it's the stuff that you see at gas stations or convenience stores, and not just the seltzers, but the gummies or whatever, that there's no regulation for there. There's no age checks. I mean, some places sell this that don't sell liquor. So I think that's the stuff you really need to crack down on. But like, the hemp waters, the THC waters, regulate it and tax it. Fine. I mean, it is already, and sell it in liquor stores. Make it where you have to be 21 or 18, depending on the state. But I definitely think cooler heads will prevail. But yeah, I was kind of like irked when I saw that about the Beer Institute. Like, if you ban something, it's still going to be there. You know, it's like prohibition. Liquor was still there. So if you ban this now, especially after a couple years of people consuming it, enjoying it, now you're just going to ban it? I don't know.
Yeah. It is kind of a messy type scenario, because are you going to ban it where you can't? Like here, where I got these beer that I mentioned earlier at the gas station, you can actually get like THC drinks there as well. Now they're IDing anything like the THC or the beer, just like you have to be an adult over 21 to get or whatever. So I know that there are some spots where you can kind of get that stuff, but you can go to the smoke shop and get like the gummies and stuff like that. And some of them will have the THC drinks, but we also have the dispensaries, which also has stuff. And so it's kind of like, so are you going to push everything over to the dispensaries to have them actually handle it? Or is it going to be, because it's going to come out somewhere for somebody.
Yeah.
And I think I've always felt like the thing when you got into legalization of marijuana and now into the hemp thing is the problem the government has a lot of times is how do you control it? Because it's something that people can actually do themselves. Like you can grow marijuana. Like that was always the whole thing about not making marijuana legal. If people could grow marijuana, you wouldn't know who was having what, right? So now you have these places that are making a different thing. It's just kind of, it's just it's going to be a big mess. You can try to unravel, put something back in a bottle that's already out. I don't see it going in easy. DeWine did it here. He tried to suspend it, and within like 2 days, a judge put a stay on it. So we have one of our local stores. They had to take it off the shelf. But the next 2 days later, they're putting it back on the shelf, and then everybody just comes in and start like stocking up on it because for them it's great. They get like a big rush. It's like a fire sale. Get it now because they don't know how long we'll have it type thing. It's kind of a mess the way it's actually being done, I think. So we'll see what happens. I feel like some of these things are said without any thinking behind them. And, this industry is, I forgot what the numbers were behind it, but it's definitely dealing with a good amount of millions of dollars and jobs and stuff that are being created through this industry. You're just going to basically shut it down when, here's a new revenue stream for companies and employment and all kinds of stuff that's happening. And it's just like, it doesn't make any sense to do it, I don't think.
Yeah, and you mentioned Ohio breweries that are getting into the THC. There's quite a few in Illinois that are doing it. Like even like some of your big players, like Revolution has one that's out there. This is a way for breweries to get some of that market that they're losing with beer. We've all seen the numbers that craft beer sales are, slowly going down. Well, if this is a product that'll get more people into your brewery or to help your bottom line, let's not kill it.
Yeah. And, and talking about it, the different ones, for instance, Rhine Guys, they actually had just launched one as well. But one of the stories we had here was where we had it at a Lakefront Brewery out of Wisconsin, where they actually debuted the new Delta beverage. And amid the uncertainty, they kind of, all the plans were already in the works, so they went ahead and moved forward with it. So they pretty much launched their stuff here November 13th, talking about that with their high jinks and stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see how it actually plays out. And the thing is, like, some of these states where these drinks are being released, have legalized marijuana, right? So
Yeah.
if they legalize marijuana, what is the issue with them doing the THC drinks? It's just a different regulation where somebody's not getting money is the way I'm looking at it. Somebody's not getting paid and they're causing a stink about it to kind of figure out how they can actually set it up for them to make money off of their end. So, any business done in America, if you can't get taxes out of it, they're going to shut you down.
Yeah. So some of these Cheech and Chong need to write a check to Mitch. Give Mitch some money because, so Cheech and Chong, write that check.
Yeah. Well, he's actually on his way out now. So, but it's just, but he did get a lot of money from the bourbon industry. So, Ryan said, sell the 5 and 10 wheat waters the same way you do beer to 25 and up, like you do liquor. It isn't difficult. Yeah. I mean, that's an option, right? You can break it off and do it that way. And now I don't know if there's a cap on the limit. I know in Ohio, the highest I've seen on some of the drinks was 100 milligram. But yeah, you can actually, maybe you action it out or whatever, and if it's got to be over 25, you have to get it at a dispensary. If it's under 25, you can get it at the regular stores or whatever. So that's a good idea there, Ryan.
Yeah, but and I talked because I did a segment on it a couple weeks ago. Like in Minnesota, even Targets are starting to sell. I think the lower, like the 5 milligrams, or even some of them are like 2 or 3. But even Target's selling it. So I think you're going to get your retailers and your distributors are going to say, "Hey, let's not kill this cash cow here."
Yeah. Oh, the CEOs and whoever they got, they'll be sending in some letters, some short to the government. Like,
here's an idea: put a tariff on it, tariff it, and everyone will win.
There you go. Well, Dave has said, I'd rather just drink a good craft beer. Yeah. Well, Dave, you also have to only can drink a good craft beer because I know what you do for a living. So he's talking about Dave's TV too, because Dave's here too. But I don't. But he's got a restraint on what he can do as well. But Ryan agrees with him. So I mean, it's just, I don't know. You're making a mess or something that doesn't need to be a mess made, in my opinion. Yeah. Should be an easier way to actually handle this. So the other thing here, and get into what might be the most shocking news that's taken place here. That kind of, like I said, it caught pretty much everybody I've talked to. It seems off guard. Nobody knew this was actually coming. Well. The employees didn't know it was coming either. Yeah. But the situation that took place with Out West with Rogue. So this was a big surprise that they pretty much pulled the old Iron Hill. We have to put the breaking news thing up there. It's a breaking news thing. Yeah. Let's see here. See if it does it.
Popped up. Right there you go. It's up there.
Is it up there? Okay.
Yeah,
breaking
it's up
news. Yeah. So if you haven't seen, this just happened yesterday with Rogue shutting everything down. And I mean everything. Everything was done. Everything was locked out. Everything was not open for business. Even the employees were not made aware of it. Everybody found out yesterday that this was happening. They're saying financial struggles. They were basically behind on, whoops, go back there. What happened there? Secure connection. Gotta love the internet at times.
Yeah.
Refresh.
But the one thing I was reading, they owe like more than $500,000 to like the local, whoever their landlord is. So they owe like over $500,000 in like back rent. I mean, it's just an OG iconic brewery, Dead Guy Ale. Although they spun Dead Guy Ale off, but it's still part of the same family. So that was just like a huge shock when I saw that yesterday. I was like, whoa. And like you could even still get Dead Guy here. Like speaking of the Jewel, the grocery store here, they still sell the dead guy and the Imperial dead guy in the stovepipe. So I might have to stop and get one last one for the road.
Yeah, maybe to check the dates too, just to be sure. But I don't know, it keeps crashing, but I don't know why it's crashing. Now, it wasn't crashing yesterday. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, so yeah, like 545,000 on the one bill, and then another one's like another 30,000 back tax type stuff. And I guess officially it hasn't been said they were definitely done or definitely dead as a company, but you locked everybody out. Nobody has a job. Nobody's getting paid.
Merry
not
Christmas.
Producing anything. It's kind of like pretty sure that it's not going to happen anytime or repaired anytime soon. We're going to reopen. But, you know, it's one of those things, too, when you think about, and we talked about this before in the past, you saw less and less of Rogue.
Yeah.
You saw less. And I almost feel like when they got rid of like the bombers and the bomber walls, the 22-ounce bombers that Rogue had kind of built up, that's kind of when you started to see less and less. And then they did the cans and they would do other stuff. But like that 22-ounce bomber was Rogue. That was just them. So I don't know if it was a sign of the times and it was just something where just they weren't able to sell enough anymore, or it was just people got burnt out on them. But yeah, they were one like put them back in the OG type thing, you know.
Yeah.
They were probably got waived right after Ken and all of them, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. What was the one that I would see here? Squatch, I think it was. That was one of them that you would still find that from time to time. But, like, remember, what was their Hazelnut Brown? That was one of the ones that was in the bombers. They used to do one in a pink bomber, like a maple donut.
The voodoo donut was in the pink bomber, yeah.
I remember... God, shit, this is 20 years ago. I was in San Francisco, and they had a Rogue tap room in San Francisco that we stopped at. Phenomenal place. I mean, it was a great place. You got all the Rogue beers. They had a chocolate stout that was one of my favorites. It was like drinking Nestle Quick, but it was so good of a chocolate stout. And, of course, you know, your Dead Guy Ale, and now they have the Imperial and all of that. But, yeah, just kind of a shock. And like, I don't know what the state law is out there or the amount of employees, but like here you have to give people like a warn letter if you have so many employees and you're going to shut down before you just stop paying people. So that was another thing that caught my eye as a union rep. Like, wait, what are you effers doing over there?
Well, I don't know if you have to or something, because we just saw with Iron Horse.
Yeah.
They closed it that day. Nobody knew. Like, employees were getting emails that morning. Like, hey, don't come to work. You don't have a job anymore. Like, what? Well,
I think here there's like you have to have X amount of employees. So, you know, I don't know how that is for a smaller.
Yeah, I was saying, Iron Horse had like 19 locations or something. I mean, they were like a chain. So they had a lot of spots. Not as big as probably Rogue, because Rogue had in the thousands, I think, for the employees. But it wasn't like Iron Hill. I say Iron Hill. They weren't like a small company. They were kind of maybe that medium type thing that you would see. But it's just one of those shocking type things, because it's like Rogue would be like Sierra Nevada just shutting down one day, just like gone, you know. Even like when we had like the Anchor stuff, the time was out there to let you know Anchor was going down, and it's kind of cold blooded just to do it that way. Again, that's like one of those things where you find out you lost your job if you're an athlete on the ESPN ticker. Like, no one called you, no one let me know. Like, I'm sitting there watching another game, my name's going across, you've been traded. Yeah, it's kind of just cold.
Actually, speaking of Anchor, that's going to be the topic of my next episode that'll come out on Monday. I'm going to go into the history of Anchor Brewing and what happened with them, and hopefully the Yogurt Man will do something and reopen it.
Yeah, which we haven't seen anything or heard anything from him either. Like, he's just kind of disappeared. So
yeah, that'll be the next episode coming out probably Monday.
And then Ryan was saying, you got to believe someone will swoop in and buy up their name, intellectual property, and you would think, you would hope, but you just never know. I mean, Rogue's a big one, so I don't know how much it would cost to kind of do that. I mean, you could have someone like maybe a Constellation like that, but ever since Ballast Point, they're probably gun shy about trying to pick up another craft brewery.
But if you're not going to be able to sell it for much, because let's be fair, if the name and recipes were worth something, people would still be buying their beers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you think about the home brewers, there were a lot of home brewers that would do like the dead guy ale recipes and different stuff. So,
well, their yeast is commercially available. Like Rogue would sell their Pac-Man yeast, and you could buy that in homebrew shops and make a beer with the same yeast that Rogue uses. So, yeah, they're definitely, like we said, one of the OGs. It's very shocking.
Yeah, that was a big surprise for that actually to end up happening. So we'll see if anything else pops up with that one there. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. And then speaking of beer festivals, so there was one, I didn't put a link in for this one here to share, but Grand Rapids, Michigan, next weekend, November 21st through the 22nd, they'll be holding an international wine, beer, and food festival. And this is like returning, so they've done this numerous years. You only have 2 days. You have an evening on a Friday night for like 4 hours. And then on Saturday, you have like 7 hours during that day into the evening. How much do you think you could actually consume in that amount of time? Like we talk about when you go to a festival, you need to have a game plan.
Yeah.
They're going to have 1,200 wines, beers, ciders, and spirits from around the world. The math don't math. I mean, you got to be careful in your selection there. You got to have a good idea on what you want to try to go and partake in and get a.
Yeah.
I mean,
you got to have a map. Yeah, you have to have this shit mapped out. Like, all right, from 12 to 12:03, I'm going to this one, and 12:04 to 12:07, I'm sampling this. Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna have to get like a Segway or something to get around. But there's just like you would have no time to go from the different stuff possibly. But it's an interesting concept, and I kind of thought it was kind of cool because. We do the beer fest, we do the beer, the ciders there. And actually in Ohio now, we do get some stuff with spirits coming in. Not as much wine, but these type of festivals, you can bring everybody there.
Yeah.
And everybody can go into the different directions, which is kind of good, rather than having a beer festival and a wine festival. So it's kind of a good idea, but it's just 1,200. That's crazy that when I saw that number, but they've done it before.
Do you remember what the price tag to get in for that was?
For that one there, let me take a look. I'll pull it up here. I don't think it was actually anything exorbitant. Wine and beer. Let's see here. Showspan.com. So if you go VIP night Thursday, I guess it's Thursday. Is it Thursday and Friday then? 21st. First, Saturday 22nd. Okay, Friday is 4 to 9, Saturday 2 to 9. Single day admission, $25 per person. But then you get drink tickets. But the drink tickets are 50 cent per credit.
All right.
So and then you can do a VIP night, which is $150, and there's more info on that. But 50 cents for a ticket. I don't know how much they're going to give you when you get the drink. Maybe it's just a little ounce or two or whatever it may be, depending on what you get and where, but that's just a ton of stuff. And actually, do they have the stuff here?
I think it's got to be a lot of the F word. If it's Grand Rapids,
it is great. Yeah, I'm sure they got a spot there. Yeah. Beverage list. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
Well, speaking of like drink tickets, I just want to show you this at Fobab. So they gave you like this, and they were supposed to stamp it. Obviously, as you could tell, they don't stamp shit. So you definitely can get your money's worth. Yeah.
Every festival I've been at, the festival I'll talk about here after this in a second is one I usually do here in Cincinnati, and they give you tickets, but after a point, we even stopped taking tickets there.
Yeah.
But here's the list they have, like wine, brewery, cidery, distillery. So this is a list of some of the drink stuff they actually have. A lot of the wines. I don't know how much is all of this one page.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just scroll down. Oh, okay. See, there's more pages as you go. Yeah. So
Man, that just seemed like a bad hangover after that. You ever be mixing all that? Oh, no.
This is like going to IKEA and trying to get furniture, and they don't tell you got to build it yourself when you get home. Yeah, this is Sunny D vodka seltzer. I've never seen a Sunny D vodka seltzer.
Oh, yeah. That's out here.
Okay. Yeah. All these different cocktails. Gin, strawberry, rhubarb.
I could drink that.
Yeah.
I'm a big strawberry rhubarb fan, big gin fan.
Vodka grape transfusion. Yeah.
Yeah, that's way too much choice.
That is a lot of choices to actually go through. I'm on page 4. I haven't even seen any beers on here yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, look at this one now. Barrel strength, bourbon whiskey, finished in maple syrup barrels. See, I'd have to go, where's 312? Where's 312? I need to get to 312. Yeah. Salted maple old fashioned.
Look at the one right underneath it. Toasted Godfather old fashioned.
Yeah. Forecast. Yeah.
I'll just go to Iron Fish Distillery and skip all the rest of that.
Right. Yeah. It's like you said, and I haven't even seen the beers pop up here yet with all the stuff they have.
Oh, yeah. You're passing out after that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of vomit. That's too much stuff to mix. No, just say no.
This has to be crazy. But it's international, so you get people from all over the country. France going to be there. Scotland's going to be there. So
Going to Grand Rapids a week before Thanksgiving. I lost you. I can't. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Someone joined the chat. Can you hear us?
all right, you hear me now?
I got you.
Apparently one of my programs crashed on here.
All right.
Always good. Technology, you got to love it. But
Yeah.
again, with all that alcohol there
Oh, God.
and the time, I'm just this. How many people do you get to this event? I mean,
Yeah.
you got 1,200 different wines.
Well, I know who needs to do that.
beers.
The company I had on last call,
They definitely need to do that. Yeah.
which I will say, and I have no skin in this game outside of they came on and talked about it and they sent me this. I had this before Fobab. I was good to go. I woke up feeling like a champion. That stuff worked.
Cheers to the old pirate. Welcome, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should just seen the bourbons we were reading on the other page there. Yeah, for this festival. I'm like, yeah, because even if you're getting like 2-ounce pours, you're gonna have like, if you're doing bourbon and you're doing like 5 or 10, and like you're not gonna want to mix that with the wine and mix that with the beers. I don't know. It's kind of astounding, but like I said, it's returning, so it's not their first time doing it.
Yeah. And then nightcap, a little Sunny D vodka seltzer. Yeah, there you go.
That's got vitamin C.
Yeah. I'm going to grab my last beer, so I'll be back in a second.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, 1,200 things to drink at a festival when it's only going to be there for a Friday night and then Saturday for 7 hours. I don't know. It could be ugly getting those Ubers afterwards. Another big thing taking place. So here in Cincinnati, if you're there still, Ryan, of course, you already know about it, I'm sure, was announced we will have the Cincy Winter Beer Fest taking place February 7th at the Duke Energy Center, which is great. I am happy to see that it is back at the Duke Energy Center because last year we had it at Xavier, which Xavier wasn't bad. It just was different and it was more spread out. The Duke Energy Center is much more welcoming to have as a spot for people to drink. And this one is a good one. We get, Usually, I'm going to say in the realm, not 1,200 or whatever, but usually you can have between like 400 to 500 beers, maybe, depending, because you'll get like 200 breweries, and each brewery will bring like 2 or 3 or something, depending on who they are and what they're doing. At least that's how it used to be. But there's a lot of beers that are kind of like beers you can get anywhere. So you scratch them off your list most of the time. I mean, a lot of the new people that aren't used to craft beers, they'll probably drink those more. But, if you're coming here and Mad Tree is around the corner from me, I'm not going to really go Mad Tree beers that I can get any other time by going to Mad Tree, right? I'm going to look for the other stuff. And that's always a fun time. And if you are looking to be in the Cincinnati area for it, in fact, I actually will have a group that I'll put together. But if you are coming into it and you want to volunteer, you can always reach out to me because I'll put some stuff together for people to volunteer. We usually have a fun time getting a group together. The fun thing about the festival here, you're encouraged to actually drink. So like some places you volunteer, you can't drink while you're volunteering. Here you're encouraged to actually do it. But as they tell you in each time when they give the speech, they just say, don't be that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
don't be that guy.
But then if you're that guy, you say, wait a minute. So if I drink too much, the worst thing you're going to do is send me home early.
Yeah.
I can't. Some people don't see where they're losing in that type of thing. But it's always a fun time. Great chance to really connect with some of the breweries here and some of the beers that they'll bring in. They'll bring in some beers that you don't really get to see in some other spots. So that
starts my vacation, actually.
You want to come to Cincinnati, let me know.
It's Super Bowl weekend, too. We might have to sleep on the Rod J couch and watch a Super Bowl the next day.
Yeah, this is going to be a good time. They're going to have 2 sessions. We usually do the day session because we've done a night session before. The night session, back in the day, I was a night session guy. I'm older now. I'm definitely taking the day set. The night session, I don't need to be out there running through traffic and dancing in the crosswalk and all that kind of stuff like you see people doing after. But it's a great time. It's a blast. Great beers that come in from all over the country. So it's not just even Cincinnati, but we'll get stuff down here from all the other states as well. Good amount of states, I should say. Not all states will be here, but it's definitely one of the better beer festivals I think that's out there. So I'm looking forward to actually doing that there. They are doing their early tickets right now. Actually, if people want to just go and just to have the experience, it's like $57 right now. You get 4 hours of event time, 25 sample tickets. I'm going to decide, like I said, usually you volunteer. At some point, people stop taking tickets. It just happens. Yeah. We're supposed to take tickets, but it doesn't always happen after a certain point. So, yeah, that's something upcoming I'm looking forward to. So if you do go, I will actually be there. If you don't want to volunteer and you're drinking, swing by. I'm sure I'll let people know where I'm at some point and get a chance to meet you and talk to you as well. What beer did you get there? Because I'm going to grab another beer here.
I got the Rye Way from Revolution. This is aged in apple brandy barrels. This is a rye. Oh, God, it's a rye ale aged in apple brandy barrels. This is good. This is like really good.
Well, it's Revolution. We'd expect no less.
Damn, that's good.
How good is it? It's so good.
Oh. Like when I took a whiff, like my eye still hurts. I like the fumes from that. It was like, whoa.
That's now good. We've got some Revolution here for the D-Star 4-packs.
Yeah.
What's up with the shrinking of the can?
They stopped. They still have some of the variants in the stovepipe.
Yeah.
But I guess, and I liked the 19.2, but I think, you'll get somebody if like, you're like me, my wife doesn't drink. So if I open that up, I got to kill a 19.2, which I'm a trained professional. I can do that. Right. But some rookies out there might not be able to and could only handle it 12. So I think doing it in the 4-packs, I think it maybe sells more product where you're selling, 36 ounces of it as opposed to 19 at a crack. I don't know, but.
Well, even the 4-pack, though, they're not doing 12 ounce. They're doing like 10. They're doing like 7.5 ounce cans.
No.
We got 4-packs.
Oh, they're short in Ohio.
We're getting some mini cans that are here. And it's kind of like the ones that they're doing with that Voodoo Ranger with the mini cans.
Yeah.
They've got some of those out now with Revolution for that, and where it's like the mini can.
Oh, they don't sell that shit here. No, we got 12 ounces here.
You might have a ride in Chicago if you tried
Yeah.
that.
No, I was just there this afternoon and picked this up, before the show. So yeah, no, we don't do that little.
Yeah, I'll send you a
Yeah.
picture of it down here. So I was like, what is this? Like, it's like
No.
a full 12? Like, yeah, it's, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
size matters in Chicago. We don't do that. Yeah.
Well, he lost me on that too. It was like
Yeah.
such a small can. And like, what is this for? Like the little baby drinkers or something?
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to crack my other one open here in a second.
All right.
But this one's actually right in your neighborhood, though, Dave.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So, well, you go crack your beer. I'll talk about this. So, the Design Museum in Chicago, they're going to have a new exhibit called Design on Draft. It's going to be in collaboration with the Beer Culture Center. They're going to consider beer labels as cultural artifacts. This looks like so cool. This is right up my alley. I can't wait to go check this out. Both Rod and I were judges on the Craft Beer Marketing Award. So that's something that's always been like a hobby of mine. I love like design. So this looks like so cool just to like see all these different beer labels, beer designs. This just looks so cool. So it's going to run like up until I believe April. So
Yeah.
it's not something you have to like go rush and do this weekend, but this just looks like amazing. I know Liz Garabay. I've met her a couple of times. I don't know her. I've met her. She's really cool. So I know this is going to be a cool exhibit, and I'm definitely stoked about checking this out.
Yeah, so it'll run through April 13th. Breweries and Beyond. Design will draft Breweries and Beyond, the name of the exhibition. But yeah, I mean, it's cool in what it looks like.
If you scroll towards right there, stop right there, the Schlitz House, like those were so big, and we still have some here in Chicago where they're called Schlitz houses, and the brewery, like these were taverns, and it was a Schlitz house, and that's all they sold is Schlitz. But you still have places like that here in the city. They might not have the big ornate full color globe like you see in the picture, but you see them there, and it's such a cool, like the architecture is really cool. Like in this picture, just look at like the design work around like the molding. I mean, it's so cool. I can't wait to go see this exhibit.
Yeah. Yeah, if we can get a chance to get up there before it leaves, I would definitely have that marked down to definitely check out. So, and it seems the perfect city to have it in, it being Chicago, knowing the Chicago architecture scene.
Yeah.
So that's something, if you're going to be heading up there, something you might want to check out now.
Yeah.
If you're heading up there, I've been up there before in October, November. I know how cold it can get. So if you're afraid of the coldness,
it's 60 degrees outside, Rob. What? I mean, look at my watch. Today it was 70. It's 54 right now.
So yeah,
54. I'm in shorts.
I know my wife said she would never go to Chicago in December or January again. She went there for a conference one time, and it was like terrible.
You get yourself a little Malort, you're good to go. It warms you right up.
There we go with the Malort again.
Yeah.
So we had that there. And then another thing before we get to the other topic here was that we had let me pull this up here. They actually opened up the World Beer Cup registrations for the awards taking place. So this is always a fun time to see who's going to put in for the upcoming World Beer Cups. They end up having the selection and the winners at CBC, which next year is in Philadelphia. I got a chance to see it when they did it in Indianapolis. Looking forward to the one in Philly. Just a great, exciting time. And so for those that have you have some favorite breweries out there, or if you're one of the brewers watching and stuff, get those registrations in. And if you go to a brewery, ask what they're going to be putting in for it. They make a really good beer. Give them some encouragement about it. But it's a pretty cool time. I think one of the coolest things that I saw when I was actually there was one of the breweries that won was from Japan. So they were going through the thing, and when they do the awards, they pretty much just give the winners. They don't go like the whole nomination because it would take forever.
Yeah.
And when they announced that Japanese brewery had won, the woman that was representing them, she literally was just like in shock and awe, and just like started tearing up.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because it really does matter a lot to the brewers when this happens. And for her to come across from Japan to America and be honored with this, I mean, it was just like, it's one of those experiences, and it's just everybody applauded and all that kind of stuff, because you could just see the emotion like that she had with it and stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's a cool thing, and that's the fun of the beer community, just seeing stuff like that happen and being a part of it. So so it'll be interesting to see what happens for next year. And then we also had here, which is the last really of the news stories that we actually had, was talking about Sierra Nevada.
Yeah, happy birthday.
And get that pulled up here. So 45 years in the game. Pale Ale, that was the one. Ken Grossman, one of those classics still enjoyed.
Yeah, one thing, I don't know if you read the article, but one thing that I, took from it was they've never changed the recipe of the iconic Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. The new brewer, who I believe is an offspring, the same last name, Grossman. So I'm assuming it's a relative, and said, as long as I'm here, we're never changing the recipe. So like some beers, like, you mentioned Sam Adams, their Boston Lager, tweaked it a couple years ago. Fat Tire tweaked it. They're staying true to, I mean, it's a classic beer. It's on the Mount Rushmore of craft beers. You can never go wrong with a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Right. It's, you from time to time, you grab one of those, and I think of that one, the Pale Ale, and I also think of their Torpedo when you grab it. It's just like,
I haven't seen Torpedo in a long time, though.
Well, I haven't tried to pick one up in a bit. I think it's maybe in a year or two, but
I have not seen the Torpedo. I think, like, here at least, they're pushing that hazy little thing more. But I mean, I haven't seen Torpedo in a while. But the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, it's iconic.
Well, that's a cool thing. They still have the Pale out there, because I mean, we'll say like with New Belgium, how they got into the Fat Tire, just like Sierra Nevada has the little thing, the hazy little thing type stuff. But even Fat Tire, for whatever reason, still unbeknownst to me, scrapped the old recipe for the new recipe. Yeah. Sierra Nevada hasn't had to do that. They just kept it the way it was, and you pick it up now, and it's just as good and classic as when you had it the first time. It's just, it's steady. You know what you're getting every time, Now,
I don't know the timeline, but I know New Belgium, they're now owned by, aren't they owned by maybe Sapporo, or they're owned by a foreign company. So maybe
I think they are Sapporo on well, I was trying to think
Sapporo
or
Kirin. I think Kirin, maybe.
Kirin? Okay.
But I think maybe that had something to do with it. But like, we were talking about some of the other beers. Before they did the formulation change, when was the last time you had a Fat Tire? 10 years, if not more, for me. So sales kept declining. They did something to try to bump it up, and I don't think it's worked. But luckily for them, they've got the Voodoo Ranger. They're riding that Voodoo Ranger train to retirement. Whoever came up with that, genius. Because the regular, when they first came out with the Ranger IPA, that sucked. That was like 15 years ago. Yeah, I did not like the Ranger IPA.
The Ranger one, that's so funny, because the Ranger IPA, until the last year or so, was probably the top video on my channel from a beer review. Like, people actually did. It was funny because everybody's like, "Oh, if you do a macro?" No, like the Ranger was still always one of the top ones out there. The original Ranger IPA was launched the Voodoo stuff off of. So But obviously they went from that to probably tweaking it to what the Voodoo is now.
Yeah.
But I know people that love the Voodoo. Our buddy Big Daddy Mojo, he's a big Voodoo drinker. He loves I think it's the Juice Force. It's one of the other ones he's always like drinking, but it's the Voodoo Ranger series.
I mean, there's so many now. They're coming up with like a lighter version next year.
Ryan says Juice Force favorite of his too. So yeah. Why wouldn't you love Voodoo Ranger? My fave. He says so. Voodoo Ranger has its fans there now. I said, the initial Imperial Voodoo was different a little bit than what it is now, but
I don't know. I think maybe we got to do a taste test because you got the Voodoo Ranger, you got the big hazy little thing we were talking about, Sierra Nevada. I know like Goose Island here has their big hugs. So I think we maybe need to do like a blind taste test of like the 3 or 4 Imperial hazy IPAs that are out there.
Yeah. I've done the Goose Island hugs ones as well. Yeah. It's so funny because we talked about Sam Adams and it's like they were running with the what was it they had? The Rebel. And then they just like, we're done with it. And it's like, I wonder what would have happened.
Shit ton of money in the Rebel IPA. Yeah. I mean, they threw an absolute shit ton of money into that. And then remember they did Grapefruit Rebel. Mm-hmm. I mean, the thing, and I've always loved Sam Adams, and I'll never say anything bad about him, but it always seems like in the beer world or in the last 10 years, they're always like a day late and a dollar short when it comes up on trend. So they put out like these West Coast IPAs right at the time when hazies are starting to come along. So like you just missed the boat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Rebel came out before the Voodoo Ranger. It was kind of like they had a little bit of a chain thing going, but I don't know if they just were ahead of a time on that before they pulled it up, or it didn't hit because maybe that was still kind of that West Coast IPA type feel. But when they did the Voodoo, you got more of the juicy type IPA type feel. Yeah. That might have been a little more favorable for some of the palates.
Yeah. But, after because remember the Grapefruit Sculpin was really big. Yeah. And then, Sam Adams came out with the Grapefruit Rebel. Yeah. I mean, the Grapefruit Sculpin was fantastic. Yeah. That's another show I have written up, Ballast Point.
I was not a big fan of the Habanero Sculpin, but the Grapefruit one I did like. The Habanero was like, you guys went a little too over on what you wanted to have here for the heat fact. And I love spice. I love heat, but that one just didn't do it as much for me.
How have you never had the pale ale, Ryan?
Yeah.
That's like it's 45 years old, Ryan. It's the OG.
You know what's funny? I saw the pale ale at Kroger when I went last weekend. The Sierra Nevada pale ale was $9.99 a 6-pack. What you say the craft beer was not that bad, but it used to be like Sierra Nevada was like a $7.99 type. It was like it would stand out because of price, but even they had to pretty much bring up prices probably to match stuff right now to keep up on things. But I used to be like a good, great discounted craft beer. If you want to save a couple bucks, you get that and you'd be happy with it. So
Have you had the celebration yet this year?
Which brings me to the next thing there, Scott.
Oh, there you go, my man. Look at that. We're like one big super brain right here on the Midwest Beer Show. Yeah.
This is the last one.
Like
Sierra Nevada.
Aquaman. Here we go.
I figured I'd go ahead and crack that one open. But the celebration is a fantastic beer to enjoy. I don't hunt it down like a lot of people do. Like they look forward to this time of year when it comes out. Whenever I get it, I'm happy with it. There's so many other beers and stuff that I try to do, but I was at our Kroger's like, make your own 6-pack, and it was like, oh, they got like 3 Sierra Nevada celebrations. It was like, grab those 3 to have on the show, and then 3 other ones I was going to do reviews on, which is great. So
I might have to hit my Mariano's, which is owned by Kroger, and see what they have, because like my Jewel, they don't even do the build your own 6-packs. So
they don't at all. They used to do them, or they never.
They used to, and like back then, before you knew about the F word in Grand Rapids, like they would always have the KBS there because the person didn't know anything. So like, I'll throw like 4 of those in there, and I'll throw 2 others and get my mix pack for $10.
And you come out ahead already.
Oh yeah. But yeah, they stopped doing the mix pack by mine, so I have to go to the Mariano's. But I'll have to see if they have some of the other stuff that we were talking, like that you said you saw at your Kroger's.
Yeah. And cheers to you there, Vanessa, as well.
Hey,
Happy
Vanessa.
Saturday. The funny thing with our Kroger too is I found out when I went there a few weeks back, like we could make our own 6-pack, but in our Kroger, I mentioned before how you can actually drink in our grocery stores here.
Yeah.
So some people don't even shop; they just go in there and drink. You could take one of the individuals out and make your 6-pack area, and take it up to the counter where the bar is, and just pay for it by itself.
Yeah.
And sit there and drink it. Like I never knew, like you could, I think you had to give them, unless you got the taps. I thought you'd go to the taps and get a draft there. But no, you can take the individuals and bring them up, pay at the register for whatever they charge for the individual price. I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. So yeah. But they actually had like Bourbon County Stout on tap one time when I was in there, and some other ones, and it was just like you don't see that on tap in a lot of spots.
No.
So yeah, and it was like a 5-hour pour. So it was like.
Keep them coming, honey. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can see why people just hang out in the Kroger, not even shopping and just drinking. If you're going to put this kind of stuff up on the board there, yeah.
Well, speaking of Bourbon County Stout, like I talked about it on my show, it's coming up in the next week or so is when they're going to release it. Do you know that they're shrinking the bottle of the Bourbon County brand stout, where they're going to be smaller bottles this year? It's not going to be the bigger bottle like you always used to get.
Yeah. I actually got a video upcoming just as a reminder on what to look for with the Goose Island beers here for Black Friday. But they're going to the 410 ounce.
Yeah.
For the pack. And they came out with the bottles like that. When was it? A couple years ago? 2-3 years ago?
It was 12. Maybe even a little longer, yeah.
But those were 12-ounce bottles, but now they're going to 10 when they did it. So yeah. But Vanessa says she has not had any Sierra Nevada as well. But Vanessa is different because Vanessa's a stout drinker. So she wouldn't be drawn to pale ales. So that
but Sierra Nevada used to put out great porters, great stouts. Sierra Nevada, you could have grabbed a great stout from Sierra Nevada back in the day.
Yeah.
Vanessa. Come on.
Are they still doing any stouts though? I'm trying to think.
Maybe just at the tap room, like the Sam Adams, by you, where they just have, specialty stuff. But like their porter was great. Their stout was great. They used to have a wide variety of stuff. Now it's just the pale, the hazy little thing, and then your seasonals, your Summerfest, your Celebration, your Oktoberfest. But I don't remember the Ruthless Rye.
Oh yeah,
I love the Ruthless Rye.
Yeah. Ryan said, "Thank you, Vanessa, for helping me not feel so bad." Yeah.
You two need to send me your address. You're gonna get a can of Sierra Nevada Pale Ale and a beer in front sticker. You two knuckleheads. You know where to find me on Instagram. DM me your address. God damn it. Have you two not had a Sierra Nevada?
They are classic for sure. It's it'll be interesting. So yeah, I'll do the Goose Island thing here because that'll be less than 2 weeks now. People, just as a reminder what you're looking for possibly with them, and also the Big Bad Baptist beers. I got to get those picked up for this year too because they're out now. We get those here from Epic as well.
All right.
They got a weird distribution on some of their stuff too. So, but those are great. I mean, it's funny because I always wonder about the value. Like, are we still buying Goose Island just because off the name or whatever like that? Because you get some good ones from Epic, and they're like $12.99 a can, like a 16-ounce can or whatever. And I'm like, I'm paying $20-something for this variant from Goose Island in a 16-ounce bottle, and it's like, you start to work the numbers in your head and stuff. You end up getting it anyway, but it's just funny when you think about it. So.
Or you just wait until 6 weeks later.
We don't have those stores here, Dave.
Yeah.
I think you got the store where they fall off the truck. That's the store you got there. how did Dave get these bottles so low, like at half off?
Yeah.
You definitely have the I know a guy type thing going on in the beer world. So,
well, I talked about it on my show that's coming up. A buddy of mine told me it's a macro beer, Pabst Blue Ribbon, but they have extra, which is a 6.5%.
I know about the extra. Yeah.
They had a 30-pack for $13.99. 30-pack for $14? Not bad. I'll try it. $10 rebate. Which
Really?
I got the rebate on PayPal in 2 days. So a 30-pack for $4.
That's definitely more of a Rajay deal there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Not my favorite, but it'll do.
Can stamp that bad boy.
Yeah.
Kroger used to have a tasting bar to make your own 6-pack, and they got rid of both in the last. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, come over to ours over in Oakley, Ryan, because that one, they got it still popping. Actually, you go in there during the daytime on the weekend, they got a band that's sitting there usually playing music. It's kind of weird. It's a weird type thing. As you get closer to the bar, there'll be like someone there singing and playing an instrument, a guitar, or a piano.
We have a piano player, but that's it.
Yeah. So the one that we have over here, both of the ones I know, like in Oakley and High Park area, they both have it. Although the one in the High Park one's a little bit better, or High Park, Norwood, whatever. But to make it a 6-pack, they do a good job of that one. But then I know with Kroger, they also have different stores have different buyers. So if you get a store that has a buyer really knows craft beer, he's going to set it up nicely for you.
That's what we need to do. We need to be a buyer.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be cheaper to hire us as consultants than to pay someone to pay for their benefits and all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in some stores when I get people to ask me like what to buy there, and I tell them they go buy it. I'm like, I'm not going to cut a commission over here, folks. I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Well, speaking of like piano players and stuff, so I'm going to the airport and I'm working an early shift last week because I had to do some union stuff. There's a piano bar on my way to like my office. Mm-hmm. They're open at 5 a.m. It's packed at 5 o'clock in the morning. All these knuckleheads are drinking wine at 5 a.m. And they have like a piano. Some kid is playing the piano. I'm walking in. He's playing Knocking on Heaven's Door. I'm like, these people are getting on an airplane. The government shut down. You're going to play Knocking on Heaven's Door. Dude, my man, play something upbeat. Don't send these people on a death march. Like, I had to stop. I'm walking and I'm like, you are not playing Knocking on Heaven's Door.
Well, at least it was a stairway to heaven.
Yeah. I'm like, the government is still shut down. You might got one air traffic controller in the whole tower at O'Hare, and you're playing Knocking on Heaven's Door?
Yeah. That is funny.
Yeah.
Well, Dave's TV. Dave, you're about receiving beer from anywhere in the country.
Yeah.
Just check on time. I can't believe the number of times you checked in the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
All right, Ryan. You know where to find me, Ryan.
Yeah, I track stuff in there sometimes. I don't even track all the beer. I put stuff in there when I think about it. But unless it's a new beer and I want to recall it, like the ones I did like today from Sam Adams and that. But like some stuff I just mark it in there just to have it as a time.
I haven't looked at Untapped in a couple years.
Yeah.
I mean, every now and then I'll sign up for like the month of the premium just because it gives you more data that you could look at if I'm working on like a project for the show. But God, remember how you used to like couldn't wait to check in and like, oh, I got 3 badges for this beer.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, I drank it. I know it.
You know, they just changed it on Untapped too. When we had a debate, like Dave's another Dave's TV is another group that we do on Instagram. We were talking about Untapped, where now they remove beer and it just says drinks, and they've added wine into it, and they've added spirits and all kind of stuff. So it's kind of not as fully a beer app, though most people still kind of use it. But someone brought up an interesting point, and they're like, Untapped missed a good opportunity. Mm-hmm. When people were getting badges, if they would have been like, you earned this badge, if you would like to get a patch for your jacket, email us. Make it like $1.99 like that and everything. Yeah. I would have people doing stuff to get patches for their beer jackets.
Yeah, it would have been like a Cub Scout thing. You would have been loaded up.
Yeah. So they did miss an opportunity with actually doing that.
I will be back in like 60 seconds because I've had 3.
You're pushing along. When the bladder calls, the bladder calls. The typo. Don't even worry about the typos. I mean, we're doing a beer show, so either one, we're not really paying attention as much to the typos, or 2, we know how to read through the typos. But yeah, when you go over to the tap room tomorrow, Ryan, definitely want to check out. Gotta get the name of it again here. The Imperial Cream Stout and the Coffee Bean with Topias. Both of them are on tap, or if you want to get the take-home box, you can do that as well. But I think the Coffee Bean with Topia, either is a 10 or 12 ounce pour. It's only like $8, whatever, if you want to do a port from the draft. And I think the Cream Stout is the same way. But if you didn't, I think you said you did do the Cinnamon Roll Breakfast Bock. The Cinnamon Roll Breakfast Bock is one to definitely have. So it's a good 3-pack that you can actually pick up with that one if you want to do that as well. But I'm pretty impressed with this Sam Adams tap room and the stuff they're actually doing. It's so many different breweries to try to get a feel around here. But Sam Adams always does a great job. And the thing with Sam Adams is getting to know the staff and stuff there. It's definitely, for breweries nowadays, as we know, like some of the struggles that take place, you have to have that right structure to get people that want to come in there and get that good feel about it. Because I mean, people are just like changing breweries like they're changing socks at times. And Sam Adams does a really good job of welcoming people in and kind of building that community with its patrons. Just watching when I was out there today, some of the people that were coming in before that hadn't been in a while, and then the people they knew there, you could just tell that warmth. And so that's what makes that like a cool little brewery to go to. So many other breweries I've been to around here that I get that kind of feel with some of them, but then some are just kind of like, it's just like walking into a bar or whatever, not really knowing anybody type thing. So I'd like the connection at Sam Adams and what they're actually doing there. They really seem to take stock in their people when they come in, and it's part of the hospitality.
Yep.
And they're being hospitable. That's what you should do.
Do they have the Boston Ale there?
At the Sam Adams?
Yeah.
I'm sure they do. I mean, Jim Cook would not be a happy camper if they didn't.
Well, I mean, Boston Lager. I mean, I was always a big fan of Boston Ale.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't think they have Boston Ale. No,
yeah.
I'm just thinking of Boston Lager. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Boston Ale was such a good beer, and it was hard to find. You could get it like 15 years ago. You could still get it in 6-packs. Yeah. But like, I remember having that on tap, and it's like, I would drink this every day if I could get this all the time.
Yeah.
And that was one of the beers, like when I homebrewed, I would always, like every other batch, I would do that. I had my version of that getting the recipe, you wouldn't get the recipe, but you would have the hops that they use. So you know what the ABV is, you know what the IBUs are, and you could kind of work it. And I had a pretty decent version of it. It wasn't the same, but it would satisfy you. But that was such a great beer. I wish that one would come back.
I don't know. I've never had the Boston Ale.
Yeah.
So Ryan, again, the Utopia is 2025. You're going to like it. I mean, you probably know you're going to like it as well.
Yeah.
And the Cream Ale Topia is like the one I just showed you there. That's the one they'll have there, which is the Imperial Cream. But they also have the Coffee with Bean Topia that's there as well on tap. And then we're taking a look at their tap board here. Because they're actually, if you take a look at it, Ryan, as well, they're on Untapped now as a place. So you can also see their tap room. Now, one I didn't have today, because I drove down, so I didn't want to obviously drink too much to drive back. They did have the Boston Brick Red. A lot of people are talking about that being a good red ale. So they do have that there as well. So I have to go back another time to try to catch that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And I wanted to try the Avinia Colombiana. That's an oat shake ale. they actually have there on tap.
An oak what ale?
An oat shake ale.
Shake ale.
Yeah. Doesn't really give a breakdown. That's what they classified it here on Untapped as. But they say it's an historical beer other. It's not the style.
Did you
I
ever
gotta think
have,
if it's oat, it's gotta be creamy. It's gotta be a creamy type style.
Did you ever have from them? I mean, they stopped making it years ago. Their triple bock that was in that like cobalt blue bottle.
I don't think I had the triple box from them.
Yeah, it would come out. It was probably like an 8-ounce bottle, maybe smaller, and it was like a cork and cage, and it was just like maple syrup. And at the time, it was probably 15%. But at the time, in the 90s, like you never heard of that. And that was like phenomenal. And they stopped making that, but that was always really good.
Okay. No, I never had that one there.
Yeah.
The one I had from Sam Adams when I was down there a few weeks back that they still have on tap, though, is their Toasty Boy. And that's an American brown ale. And that was really tasty. Yeah. So, Ryan, if you like brown ale, that's definitely a nice one, too. They don't have a ton of taps there. I mean, they've got like 8 or 9, I think is the number, but you're making good beer. You don't have to have like 20, but it always is nice when you see a lot of taps up there.
It's like going to a place like Yard House with all these taps. You're only drinking the same 2 or 3 beers.
Yeah. Now you're making me regret, Ryan, not having that beer. Rated thought it was amazing. Gave it a perfect 5 stars, which is rare for him. Yeah, I don't give out many 5 either. I did for Utopias.
You're off tomorrow, Rod. You can go back.
Yeah, I could go back. I could, yeah.
You're a member of the media.
Yeah.
Sure, you got a media pass to get back in.
Yeah. The Cincinnati Lager. That's their special for Cincinnati, the 513, yeah.
All right.
I meant to get some video from the brewery across the street, too, but I didn't do it before I left down there. Never had any. Yeah, a lot of people, it's tough to get.
I've never had Utopias. Yeah, that's a bucket list beer for me. Yeah,
because, I mean, you're limited. 35 states can sell it, but then to find it takes time. So,
yeah.
I know Vanessa had gotten some before where she was, and she got over to her buddy Shane up in Canada so he could actually try it, but she was trying to find more as well. But I say, like I said earlier, people are finding it in Costco now. So if you have a Costco and they're not one of the states that can't have it, you might get lucky. Liquid cinnamon roll. Are you sure? Are you sure that wasn't the cinnamon roll breakfast box? Because that cinnamon roll, that's really good. That's what I've had. I didn't really need to bring home more beer, but you know what happens.
Yeah, You're weak, They got you. Yeah.
Yeah. That one, the wife let you go out all by yourself.
Yeah. I was weak.
Well, what had happened was.
Yeah.
But yeah. But really, for the news stories, that's really all the news stories that we got for this week. So, anything else you want to share out here for the boys and girls?
No, just my next thing will come out probably Monday. I'm doing a.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, all right. Look at you, Ryan.
I know how good that was. So okay.
Yeah. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the history of Anchor Brewing. So that'll come out, probably Monday. And then I got like an open month or two. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about. So anybody has any like ideas or whatever, get a hold of me. Any beers you want me to try, I'll try to hunt it down. But, I'm an open book for like the rest of this year.
All right. Well, I do got a connection for you to connect with.
All right.
Through M as well, that they said they would definitely be interested in coming on yours too. So yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it on the Saturday night that we have here. Unless anybody has anything in the comments they want to add on. But
Saturday night's all right for drinking. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. And day, because I've been drinking all day. I've been drinking in the day, and I've been drinking into the night. So
yeah.
But with that being said, I think we'll go ahead and get ready to get wrapped up here. Appreciate everybody that kind of tuned,
All right.
well, not kind of, everybody that did tune in
Yeah.
to watch the channel and the show. And make sure if you haven't subscribed to Dave, check him out. Both of our details. Well, if you're here on mine, you see my details in the comments.
Yeah.
If you're on his, you see the details in his comments.
And
the
yeah.
description on mine is both links if you need to get Dave's as well. So
Yeah, definitely check us both out. Thank you so much for tuning in. Cheers, everyone.
yeah, cheers and thank you. Dave
we might
TV
not.
as well.
If we're not going to do this for another 2 weeks, we might not see you guys. So have a good Thanksgiving.
Oh yes, yeah. Oh, okay. So there's the other thing too. That's a good point. So we're after Thanksgiving. We talked about with the Lager Room guys, me and John and Dave on that show. God, I'm running into a lot of Daves here recently.
Yeah.
We talked about Thanksgiving pairings, and we talked about different stuff, like any beer styles that you would like to share. Like I talked about like Saison. I talked about Belgian. I talked about brown ale. Things that would be savory to have, like with turkey and stuff like that. Anything you think of as far as pairing some things out? Because there is a pumpkin beer too.
You know what? I would always have like wine. Like I wouldn't do so much beer. Like I would always have like a Zinfandel with like stuff, but like I know Midwest Coast Brewing here in Chicago. I think theirs is called Friendsgiving. That's like a really good, it's a holiday type beer, but not a Christmas beer. That one's really good. There's a cider. I think there's more ciders out there, but I've had a couple, so I can't think of it right now.
Okay. All right. Well, there's some good. Have fun, experiment with it. Also here, Cincinnati, right?
Beer for dealing with your family.
Yeah.
That's one from Off Color. It's an imperial malt liquor. It's like 11 or 12%, and it's because we all got those crazy family members that you don't want to talk to. So they have theirs. It's called Beer for Dealing with Your Family. That's what you should drink.
I don't know about serving malt liquors at a family event.
Yeah.
Dude, people go rolling down the steps out into the yard fighting. So yeah. Here in Cincinnati, one to recommend would be Brian Geist and their dad. That's a good holiday beer.
Right.
And then the holiday spruce beer from Mad Tree is also a nice one to have. But I'm trying to think, Thanksgiving is one of those things too. Like we were talking about some movies, like Plane, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah.
We think we're like the only Thanksgiving movie people can think of, but we got a ton of Christmas movie, and I feel like we got a ton of Christmas beers, but very little Thanksgiving like themed beer. So
yeah. Well, shit, you already got all the Christmas stuff is out now. People forget about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday. I love Thanksgiving.
Coma Central. This should be a beer going. Coma Central IPA or something.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So Dave's channel is Beer in Front, and his link is in my description as well too there. I don't think I have it on here. I didn't get a chance.
Yeah, just check for Beer in Front. It's on YouTube, and I'll follow you, Dave. Can never have enough Daves in the world. The more Daves, the merrier.
I don't know about that. As I meet more Daves.
Yeah. But you know what? All right, real quick before we go. When I started at work, there was a ton of Daves, and we all hung out. Like at my first wedding, like three of my guys standing up were Dave. So at work, I don't want to say who I work for, but my name badge says Zal, which my last name is Zalatoris. Yeah. So everybody at work calls me Zal. Nobody calls me Zal outside of there. Like the first time like Ruby came to the airport, we were going and people were calling me Zal. They're like, who's she talking? Who are they talking about? Oh, that's me.
She's looking all around. Who's the guy to keep calling for?
Yeah. So at work, everybody just calls me Zal. And like I answer to that.
That's
there's
smart
too
way
many
to do
Daves.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. D1, D2, D3.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan, thanks for the heads up on that. Inner Sight, Third Eye, Black Walnut Brown Ale. Okay. Definitely will actually see if I come across that as well. Dave is a beautiful name.
Yes.
You ever go by David before, or is it just Dave?
There's like my mother and like one or two other people in the world call me David. That's it.
Yeah. Oh. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here because we're just rambling at this point. But yeah, make sure to check everything out. If you're listening on the podcast, make sure to follow. Links are in the podcast description as well. Of course, now if you're following this on the podcast and it's on Spotify, you're seeing the video with it as well, not just hearing the audio. That's it. That's all I really got. I feel like I don't want to like ramble past more people just to hear two old guys rambling on stuff. I mean, because we'll end up getting all kinds of things if we keep drinking beer here.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
We'll be just like the barber shop. Yeah.
Yeah. But thanks for everybody.
I don't call them Clay. I don't call them Clay.
Oh, cheers, everyone. And again, if we don't talk to you before Thanksgiving, have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah, great Thanksgiving.
Like I'll talk to a lot of these folks before that, I believe. But yeah, maybe get that malt liquor. If you got to deal with some family relatives, get the malt liquor in the house. Yeah. So, yeah. Cheers, everyone. We are out of here.